So let me tell you a story about why you should invest in apple juice. So a few days ago, I accidentally clogged the toilet. And that is why you should invest in apple juice. Because it's a nice natural laxative. But yeah, so I clogged the toilet. And I tried using my plunger to fix it. And I was just like... It wasn't really working. But the drain was still working. You know, stuff was going out, down through it. So I was like, I guess this is fine. I'll try plunging it again later. And we'll see how that goes. Right? Plunging it later doesn't work. So I put in the work order so that they can come fix it because I couldn't. And this story is connected to so many things in the past. Like half a year ago, I lost my ID. I think I lost it at Chili's. I'm not sure. I need my actual state ID to be a primary source of identification. Because, you know, that shit's important. So I plan out the trip today to go down to the DPS that's by here. Riding the bus, because it's a short while away. So I have to use the bathroom in the Union, which thankfully it's open. It's a Friday, so the Union is still open, which I think kind of sucks, really, because, like, what if my toilet was broken on the weekend? Very well could have been, because, yeah, anyway. But I use the bathroom in the Union, and when I look at the time, I've missed the bus that I was going to take. So I'm like, okay, fine. My phone was, like, at 12% anyway, so I should go back to my dorm and charge it for a bit. So I do, and I decided to go at the end of that hour, so like 8:40. And as I'm walking to the bus stop, the bus number passes me, and I'm just like, you know what, I've wasted enough time. This is a DMV, so the line's gonna be long already, so I might as well just walk it. I need the exercise anyway, right? So I start going to walk it, and it is a 30-minute walk. So I walk 30 minutes on a very busy street, because I'm like in downtown of my city, which is, downtowns are always pretty busy places. And I'm walking further downtown. So I go and I start to take care of it. And thankfully I did it early enough in the morning to where it wasn't super hot, so I wasn't exactly at a health risk. So I walk there, and then I see a sign, and it's a huge building. Like, it takes up this entire block of the city, and I'm like, damn. So I go into this giant building, and then I look at the sign, and it's like, sign in with the security guard off over here so that you aren't a security risk. I'm like, well, I don't want to be a security risk, so I go over and I sign in. And I ask him, I'm like, okay, so here's my situation. I need a new state ID, so that I just need a new state ID. And I'm like, do you guys do that here? Is that something that happens? He's like, no, I'm afraid you'll have to go somewhere else for that. Before I ask him where I should go, I'm already leaving, and I'm just like, well, qui sera, sera. I'll deal with that later. I start going out, and I'm like, okay, great, well, I guess I'll just walk back to the dorm. Today was a loss, and that'll be that. So I walk back to my dorm. Toilet's still clogged. At this point, I think I'm having like an asthma attack or something, because it was easier going to there because it was downhill, and I probably should have waited for the bus, but I thought, the walk here wasn't so bad, so why would the walk be any worse coming back? And it's like, well, should have thought about that more. I didn't bring my inhaler with me that time. I don't know why. I should have. That would have been smart. No, I did. Except it's hard to use while I'm walking, because, like, the sharp breaths that it requires just, like, hurts. It's really difficult to do while you're walking. It's not like I wanted to stop and sit somewhere either. There wasn't really any benches or anything. So, walking back, I start having an asthma attack. I start panicking because I think the people, like, walking in front of me think I'm creepy because I'm probably walking weird. You know, gasping every so often, trying to breathe. Just like, I'm straight up not having a good time. As that Vine guy put it. I don't know. So I finally make it back to my dorm, and I am so exhausted at that point. But I'm so exhausted at that point that I just drink a glass of water, and then I just fall asleep. Again, really good that I did it earlier in the day. Probably a dumb idea to walk the entire freaking thing. When I wake up, it's like lunchtime, so I'm like, you know what? It's Friday, Union's open. I'm gonna walk over and either get some Pizza Hut or go to the Chick-fil-A, and the Chick-fil-A slightly. I go to the Pizza Hut, and their meat lovers pizza, totally disgusting. And it's only the personal pizza, so it's really freaking small. I end up going to Chick-fil-A, and I get a little sandwich. And it's not particularly good either, but I mean, food is food at that point. I just had a long walk. I just had a long nap. I don't think I made breakfast because of how early I was preparing to leave, which was a bad idea. So I eat up. I enjoy it well enough. And then I head back to my dorm. And I find out that one of my friends from high school is here. And I'm like, oh, hey, it's nice to see you again. Turns out he's here studying. He doesn't have a major yet, but he's working. He's going to find out what he likes. And that's good for him. But he's giving a haircut to my roommate. And I'm just like, that's cool. So we catch up for a little bit, and then I go into my room fully intending to work. And then I just zone out watching YouTube again. Because of course. What feels like a couple minutes later, I get a knock on my door. And I'm like, who is that rapping on my chamber door? And it turns out it's my roommate. The toilet's flooded. So him and my friend from high school go to talk to the maintenance people. They go to the front desk to be like, hey, our toilet's flooded. And I'm like, okay, cool, I'm gonna run damage control. So I grabbed paper towels that were left behind from when they thawed out the ice in our freezer, because the ice in our refrigerator, because it was like dripping water and there was ice going on. It was pretty freaking bad. So I use their paper towels and some of my paper towels, and I'm starting to build like little levees around to stop this overflowing toilet from flooding just the entirety of our dorm. So I'm left, and the toilet's still just gushing out water, and I'm just like, well, I don't think there's much of a plan B here. So I've set up the levees of paper towel across the floor, And I go into the bathroom and I'm like, okay, I have to stop this toilet from flowing water, otherwise these thin paper towel water stops aren't gonna do jack shit. So I go in there, and then I open up the upper part of the toilet, and I start looking around. I'm like, okay, something in here has to make the water stop flowing. And I remember looking at the inside of the toilet before just to see how it works, because I'm a weirdly curious kid. I was a weirdly curious kid. I'm technically an adult now. So I open it up and I look around and I'm like, okay, this little latch here, which is connected to this just cylinder. That's probably the thing that shuts off the water. So I reach in and lift that up, and I'm just like, okay. And then I'm just sitting there. I'm just like, what do I do now? I'm like, okay. There's this towel. There's the towel bar right above the toilet. And I'm like, okay. So if I can find something that's kind of hook-like, I can attach it there. And then if I can find something rope-like, I can tie it to this thing up here, so I can start drying up the water. This entire time, I don't know this grand old secret. That downstairs, the room right under me, their fire alarm is going off because water is falling through their roof. The fire alarm downstairs is going off. I have no clue. And I'm just holding up this thing and I'm like, okay, gotta find a hook. And then I see one of the shower hooks and I'm like, okay, hook, cool. How do I detach it? So I start working on detaching the hook. And then I finally get it detached and it falls on the ground. And I'm like, okay, great, where is it? I find it on the floor, thankfully not in any of the water. It's like behind the toilet. Okay, got the hook. Maybe I can make some makeshift rope out of toilet paper. So I take off my toilet paper from the toilet paper holder that's holding it in. And I'm just like, okay, cool. So I start taking it out, and I'm unrolling it under my armpit while trying to hold up this hook, and I start to lose my grip. And it's just like, oh god, no. Barely holding on with a finger on the thing, and I'm like, this isn't working. And then the toilet paper rips, and I'm just like, okay, cool, this isn't going to be a rope. That was a bad idea. So then I put the hook back on the thing, I put the toilet paper back, and I just stuffed the toilet paper that ripped into my pocket. And I think it's still there. I should have probably dealt with that before recording. But fuck it. I'm here now. Then my next idea is like, okay, maybe I can use the toilet brush to prop up this thing through like the angle if I just like put it the right way. And, you know, the idea works in concept. My toilet brush was slightly too big to work in practice. So I'm like, okay, cool. Another plan abandoned. At this point, I'm starting to lose a little bit of hope. So I'm just holding it up, and then I hear a knock on the door. Already having just a fantastic day. I'm like, come in. It's the RA. Oh, it's the RA, and she's like, hey, did you guys flood anything? And I'm just like, oh yeah, the toilet's flooding right now. If you don't mind, I kind of need to get back to holding a hook. And she's like, okay, I just wanted you to know maintenance is on their way. It set off a fire alarm downstairs because it's leaking through their ceiling. And I'm just like, oh god. And then I hear it stop. I hear it stop flowing, and I'm like, okay, cool. Something I did actually manage to fix this. So, then she's like, she leaves to do something, and I start working on picking up the stuff, and it's just like real gross. Because all the paper towels like super soaking. Got into the carpet in my room a little bit. Got on the carpet in my roommate's room too. I feel bad about that. I think his was slightly worse, just because like the angle that this building is on. It's a little slanted, and it seems like it was pooling more towards where his room was. So I start going to clean it up, and then she comes back and she's like, "Hey, we have a mop and a bucket ready for you down in the front office if you want to come pick it up." I'm like, "All right, cool." And she's like, "Are you really gonna go barefoot?" And I'm like, "Well, it's either that or I wade through the lake back here." And she's like, "Fair enough, I guess." And she's like, "So how did this happen?" And I tell her the story. Clogged it last night, called in the work order when my plunger didn't work, and then today I got a couple, I don't know if it was like, it felt like a couple minutes ago at that point. A couple minutes ago, there was a knock on my door, and they were like, "Hey, the toilet's fine." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool, great." So I go over. I go down, half sprinting, apologizing to the people who are sitting outside of their rooms downstairs, listening to the fire alarm. I'm just like, "I'm so sorry, guys, I didn't mean to." Run down there, get the bucket, start running back, still barefoot. Feet are starting to burn against the concrete, and I'm just like, "Great!" Run upstairs, and my roommate's back with the friend, and they got him up. And I'm like, "Awesome, cool. Let's start fixing this." Start mopping, and then one of the main maintenance guys shows up and he's like, I know him. I think he's one of the main maintenance guys because he seemed like he was training the other people, but he was like warming up, thawing the ice in our fridge. And I was like, first time he showed up, he's like, "As you know, the fire alarm is going on downstairs. There's actually water dripping through the ceiling light in the kitchen." And I'm just like, "Oh, that's so terrible." He's like, "It's okay, it's okay. Shit happens." Literally. And that was just the funniest line I remember hearing today. So, I'm there mopping. All three of us are mopping together, which I'm real thankful for. Because, like, the friend didn't have to do that. I appreciate it so deeply. But he helped us clean it up and everything. And I was convinced that the water was getting under the fridge, and that's how it was getting clogged down there. But I had no idea. So I moved the fridge. Disgusting back there. The tiles were yellow. They're more of like a browny cream sort of color. They were yellow under the fridge. And it was so awful. So he comes back 3 more times, and then he unclogs the toilet, and he's like, "Hey, the reason your plunger didn't work is because the shape of the toilet doesn't really work with it." And I'm just like, "Hey, that sucks." Because that means the plunger that I've had for this past year wouldn't have worked even if I did clog the toilet. Which sucks. So we get it all cleaned up and mopped up. And then I have to take the bucket back, and they actually the friend go to pick up some bleach so that we can actually legitimately clean the floor from this poop water. So I move the fridge, it's yellow back there, and it's just so gross. And I'm not even sure if it's fucking dry. Oh, damn. So we mop it up, we get it all dry. And as I'm carrying this bucket full of real gross water back downstairs, splooshing around, I notice that everyone's back in their rooms and I don't hear the annoying fire alarm sound. And I'm just like, oh, thank goodness. I hope none of their stuff got destroyed. That sucks so bad. But yeah, so we get it all cleaned up, and then I take the bucket down, splooshed water all over me. Still haven't showered. Probably should. Really feel gross. Didn't do laundry today, which today's normally my laundry day. But yeah. Every adventure I've had has been unsuccessful today. But yeah, so invest in apple juice and plungers that fit your toilet.
Oh, Paul.
I don't know, is that the end of this? Good here? Is that story long enough?
Son? Gian.
If it wasn't, just enjoy some more footage of me playing Hollow Knight with some rad music in the background, alright? God damn. But yeah, so I guess that's that.
Velmi Ardred. Son? Gian. Velmi Ardred. Oh, Paul. Velmi Ardred. Oh, Paul. Velmi Ardred. Oh, Paul. Velmi Ardred. Velmi Ardred. Helma Dilker. Ranjo Stenja. Jonsha. Garadel Akari.
Thank you guys very much for watching. Remember to take care of yourselves and that tomorrow's another day. I hope to see you then. Bye!